I hope that you're doing fine. I'm doing okay. I think I could be better. Okay, hold on. Okay, so today we're on Genesis chapter 32 still. Uh, Maybe because I rage quit it. So let's read it and let's not make any promises. Okay, and he arose that night and took his two wives, his two female servants, and 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. He took them, sent them over the brook, and sent what he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of dawn, or the breaking of day. Now, when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket, that is the angel, he touched the socket here of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint. And he wrestled with him, and he said, "Let me go, for this day breaks." But he said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." So he said to him, "What is your name?" He said, "Jacob." And he said, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men and prevailed." Then Jacob asked, saying, "Tell me your name, I pray." And he said, "Why is it that you ask about my name?" And he blessed him there. So I'm wondering, because I noticed this is a trend in the Old Testament. Jesus really didn't reveal his name at this time. You can even see it in further on, if we get there, when Simon, not Simon, uh, what's the dude's name? Uh, anyway, you'll see it further on. Yes, I am. I'm reading the Bible, and okay, verse 30. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Just as he crosses over Peniel, the sun rose up, and he limped on his hip. Therefore, this day the children of Israel do not eat the muscle that shrank, which is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip in the muscle that shrank. Yeah, let's play with Zaina. How you doing? Okay. So let's continue on. Let's continue on. Dude, boom, we're done with this chapter. We are moving on to another chapter. Okay. Now Jacob lifted his eyes and looked, and there Esau was coming. and with him were 400 men. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the two maidservants. And he put the maidservants and their children in front, and Leah and her children behind, and Rachel and Joseph last. Hmm. There's some, what do you call it? You know, look at the his best son, his favorite son is in the last place, meaning that he could get away. And he crossed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted his eyes and saw the women and the children and said, "Who are these with you?" So he said, "The children whom God has graciously given your servant." See, Jacob gave glory to God about his children. That's very important. Then the maidservant came near, they and their children, and bowed down. And Leah also came near with her children and bowed down. Afterward, Joseph and Rachel came near, and they bowed down. Then Esau said, "What do you mean by all this company which I met?" And he said, "These are to find favor in thy sight, or in the sight of my Lord." But Esau said, "I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourselves." And Jacob said, "No, please. If you have found favor in your sight, then receive my present from my hand. Inasmuch as I have seen your face as though I had seen the face of God, then you were pleased with me. Please take my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, because I have enough." So he urged him, and he took it. Then Esau said, "Let us go out, let us take our journey, let us go, and I will go before you." He's going to be the leader. But you know what? God said he shouldn't be the leader of the family. So let's find out. Uh, but Jacob said to him, "My Lord knows that my uh, that the children are weak, and the flocks and the herds which are nursing are with me, and if the men should drive them hard, one day the flock will die. Please let my Lord go on ahead before his servant. I will lead slowly at a pace the livestock that go before me, and the children are able to endure until I come to my Lord in Seir." And Esau said, "Let now now uh hold on. Let me leave you with some people who are with me." Oh, Okay, but he said, "What need is there? Let me find favor in the sight of my Lord." So Esau returned that day on his way to Seir, and Jacob journeyed to Succoth, built himself a house, and made booths uh, for his livestock. Therefore, the name of the place is called Succoth. Although technically he wasn't supposed to stay there, he was supposed to go all the way to this other area. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, we're almost done. Then Jacob came safely to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. All right. When he came from Padan Aram, he pitched his tent before the city, and he brought the the parcel of land where he had pitched his tent from the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. Doesn't say what kind of money. Could be silver. I'm just saying. Then he erected an altar there and called it El Eloi Israel. Very interesting. Okay, El Eloi. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and violated her. His soul was strongly attached to Dinah. And maybe there was something to this problem that even Abraham, Isaac had with these people. Maybe there was something to that. So Shechem spoke to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this young woman to wife." And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his livestock in the field. So um, Jacob held his peace until they came. Then Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to speak to Jacob with him. And the sons of Jacob in from the field, when they heard it, and the men were grieved and very angry because he had done so disgraceful thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, a thing which ought not to be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him as a wife. Make marriages with us. Give your daughters to us, and take our daughters to yourselves. So you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. The problem with this is they're their own nation. They're not supposed to be connecting with other nations. They're their own separate nation, right? A peculiar nation unto God. And they're not supposed to be connecting with other nations. I'm just saying. Then Shechem um, said to her father and brother, "Let me find favor in your eyes. Whatever you say to me, I will give. Ask me ever so much dowry and gift, and I will according to what you say to me, but give me the young woman to as a wife." But is this really gonna happen? I don't know. Let's continue reading. But the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father and spoke deceitfully, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said to him, "We cannot do this thing to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a reproach to us. But on this condition we will consent to you, if you will become as we are. Every male of you is circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not heed us or and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and be gone." Then the words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamar's son. So the young man did not delay to do this thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Hmm. He was more honorable in all the household of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came to the gate of their city, and spoke with the men of their city, saying, "These men are at peace with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land and trade in it, for indeed the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us as wives, and they and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men consent to dwell with us and be one people. For if every male, if every male, okay, let's find out. Thank you so much. Let's play. So here, let me. If every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised, will not their livestock, their property, and every animal of theirs be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us. And all who went out of the gate of his city heeded Hamor and Shechem his son. So everybody agreed in that town to these terms and conditions. Um, every male was circumcised who went out of the gate of his city. Now it came to pass on the third day when when they were um, when they were in pain that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came boldly unto the city. Oh, hold on. It's kind of hot over here. Came boldly unto the city and killed all the males. And they killed Hamor and Shechem and his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah and Shechem from Shechem's house, and went out. The sons of Jacob came unto the slain and punished their city because their sister had been defiled. Whoa, this is crazy stuff here. They took their sheep, their oxen, their donkeys, what was in the city, and what was in the field, and all their wealth, and all their little ones, and all their wives, and they took captive, and they plundered even all that was in the houses. Well, kind of crazy, honestly. But this is the truth. It's God's word. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have troubled me by making me obnoxious among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And since I am few in number, they will gather themselves together against me and kill me. I shall be destroyed. Shall I be destroyed? My household and I?" They may retaliate, but I don't think they got a chance to do that. But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a harlot?" Okay, they rebutted his dad. Should he, is in Hazar or whatever his name was. Uh, Let me find out. I already forgot, dude. Uh, and when Shechem, the sons of the Hamor the Hivite. Okay, we'll just say Hamor the Hivite. Okay, let's see what some of the words say here, and then we'll move on, maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's read this one here. What Jacob's sons had done was not excusable, but it should be noted that the whole issue arose because Jacob's disobedience. Hi, Anna Martin. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. God bless you as well. Anora Martin, thank you so much for your comment. Uh, let's continue reading this. What Jacob's sons had done was not excusable, but it should be noted that the whole issue arose because of Jacob's disobedience to God when and he stopped in Shechem and did not return to his family. So that was the problem, not his, you know, not necessarily, you know, his offspring, although his offspring was only reacting and they had a bad temper. Well, that happens. A lot of people have bad tempers, and especially when they find out that their own sister had been defiled. So, the main issue is Jacob disobeyed God. And when you disobey God, there's going to be a um, consequence for that. Okay, okay, let's continue. One step of disobedience usually compounds into a major problem. We step out of God's will and we rationalize it. Oh man. There are places where you and I, as children of God, have no business being. If you go into those places, you are stepping out of the purposes and plan of God for your life. And you can find yourself embroiled in all kinds of tragic situations, like what happened here in chapter 34. Jacob's daughter was involved in an illicit relationship, and his sons had committed a vile crime. Their horrible act brought a threat of extermination unto the family, as a word of what they had done traveled into the surrounding villages. Jacob was afraid, and God uh, said, "Arise and go to Bethel." So yeah, how you doing? 12129 X demons. Cool. All right. Awesome. I like your name. Okay. So then Jacob said to then God said to Jacob, "Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make an altar there to God, who appeared to you when you fled from the face of Esau your brother." And Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, "Put away the foreign gods that are among you. Purify yourselves. Change your garments. Then let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress." Awesome. Isn't it awesome? God can answer your prayer, right? And has gone with me in the way which I have gone. So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods which were in their hands, and the earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the terebinth tree, the oak tree, which was by Shechem, although maybe it's a different type of oak tree specifically. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were all around them, because God, because Jacob finally obeyed him and went to the place that he was supposed to do and actually did the things that God asked him to do and was obedient, he restored him, and it's kind of he restored the fear of that nation to other nations. Okay, thank you. I know, right? Today is a little bit light on viewers today. I don't know what to do. I have 469 subscribers. But it's usually, if you subscribe, usually only like 0. Well, it just depends. It just depends. well, anyway, um, where was I? Okay. Oh yeah. And there they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities and all their around them. And they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. So Jacob came to Luz, that is Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all his people who were with him. And he built an altar there and called the place of El Bethel, the house of bread, right? Because there God appeared to him when he fled from the face of his brother. Now Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and and she was buried below. Interesting. Bethel, under the terebinth tree. So the name of it is called Alan uh, Baktush. Baktush. Then God appeared to Jacob again when he came from Padan Aram and blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob. Your name shall not be called Jacob any more, but instead, but Israel shall be your name." So he called his name Israel. That means governed by God. I wonder if he says it right here. So he called his name Israel. Also, God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall proceed from you, and kings shall come from your body. The land which I give to Abraham and Isaac, I will give to you and your descendants after you. I will give this land. When God went up from him in the place where he talked with him, so Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, a pillar of stone. All right. And he poured a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spoke with him Bethel. Okay. All right. How much is left here? We got. Okay, we got a little bit left. Okay. Then they journeyed from Bethel, and when there was but a little distance to go to uh, Ephrath, Rachel labored in childbirth, and she had hard labor. Now it came to pass when she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, "Do not fear. You will have this son also." So notice these midwives had a lot of faith, and so it was so, and her soul was departing, for she died. That she called his name Benomi, but his father called him Benjamin. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrathah, that is Bethlehem. And Jacob set a pillar on her grave, which is the pillar of Jacob's grave to this day. Then uh, Israel journeyed and pitched his tent beyond the tower of Eder. And it happened when Israel dwelt in the land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard about it. Oh boy. And that is not cool. That's all I want to say about that. Okay, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. Amazing. All right, we're almost done. And now the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph, Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's maidservant, were Dan, Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's maidservant, were Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. Uh, exactly where that is, not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up in that book, the Bible map book that I have. How far away is it? Maybe it's like 3 or 4. Nah, it's got to be longer journey. It's probably like 7 days journey, maybe. Uh, yeah. So, and let's continue. Then Jacob came to his father Isaac's to then Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre, or Kirjath Arba, that is Hebron. Ooh, that's going to be important later, where Abraham and Isaac had dwelt. Now, they the days of Isaac were 180 years. So Isaac breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people, being old and full of days, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Right? It does feel like a movie. Wow. I mean, this definitely could be a movie. See over here, Benoni, uh, means the son of my sorrow. Benjamin means the son of my right hand. Isaac probably spent the last half century or so blind, incapacitated, and senile. It doesn't mention Jacob was ever able to have a real conversation with his father again. However, Jacob and Esau joined together in the burial of their dad. Okay, thank you so much, and I'm going to be done too. So, God bless you. Next time, we're going to read chapter 36, and however far we read, that's what we read. So, thank you for joining. God bless you. May God bless you, and keep you healthy. All right, bye.